Hi guys, welcome to my video. Today I'm going to be walking you through the steps of formatting a cover letter. So what is a cover letter? A cover letter is essentially one of the first opportunities you have to introduce yourself to an organization. It allows you to demonstrate your interest in the company, and it draws attention to your resume and motivates the reader to want to interview you. It's essentially like a persuasive letter, an opportunity to brag on yourself. You get to explain why you are the best fit for the job. All right, so let's get started on this cover letter. Go into Google Classroom, and you are going to go to the Creating a Cover Letter Step-by-Step assignment, and you're going to find the Word document, Creating a Cover Letter Starter File. Go ahead and click on that. When you click on it, you're going to click on the three dots in the top right-hand corner and click on Open in New Window. And then we're going to click the Download button to download it as a Word file. So open the cover letter up, and we're going to click Enable Editing so that we can edit our file. As you can see, the letter is pretty much typed up, but we're going to focus on formatting shapes, including text, inserting a table, inserting graphics, and then also setting tab stops. So the first thing we're going to focus on is the letterhead. And so we're going to click on that blue rectangle shape at the top. When you click on a shape, it's going to give you the drawing tool formatting options. And so on the formatting tab, you see the section or the group called Shape Styles. If you click on the More button, it's going to give you options for how you can automatically format your shape. And so we're going to choose the Subtle Effect Blue Accent 1, and it's going to give us a gradient to our shape. Now we're going to add in our name. And so I'm going to right click. I'm going to choose the Add Text option, or it could be Edit Text. When I click on Add Text, it automatically centers my text. So if it didn't center for you, you can just go into the paragraph group and click on Center. I'm going to type in my name. You can type in your name, or if you want to type in mine, that's fine. So I'm going to type in my name, and I'm going to format my name so that it stands out. So I'm going to increase the font size to 26 and also bold my name. Something else that I feel like would draw attention to my name would be a graphic. So we're going to insert a graphic. When you insert a graphic, you want to make sure you don't insert it like directly into the shape, because then it makes it really hard to move around. So we're just going to click outside the shape right before our address. I'm going to click the Insert tab. We're going to find the picture online. And so this letter is about working with animals at the Humane Society. And so I figured a dog would be a pretty good graphic to search. So let's search for dog. Push enter. So you want to get something that's pretty simple, not too distracting. This guy might be a little bit distracting. So for me, I'm going to pick, I like this style. You choose what works best for you. Whoa, so we know that's really big. So we know we need to resize it. You can resize your image by just going into the sizing group on the Format tab, or you can use your sizing handles, or you can also right click and go to Size and Position. And we want to change the percentage of the size of the image, so we're going to change it to 8%. And when I click in Width, it'll automatically change that sizing for me. And I click OK, and so it made my graphic small enough to where it'll fit in that blue rectangle shape. And so I want to be able to put my graphic inside the blue shape. And so in order to do that, I need to use my, you guessed it, wrap text option. So that wrap text chooses how my text works along with my graphics. And so I can either change wrap text by clicking this button, or I can choose the layout options button here. And so I'm going to choose the in front of text option, and then I'm just going to click on my image and drag it next to my name. And once you move your image up or your graphic up, you can decide to use the sizing handles to resize it a little bit and position it how you like. I'm going to copy the graphic because I feel like the other side of my name needs the graphic as well. So I'm going to right click and copy. I'm going to place my insertion point in front of the address again. right click, and I'm going to do my paste options. Click on the picture option, and I'm going to use my text wrapping option again to do in front of text, and I'm going to place it to the right of my name. So my graphics are both pointing the same direction, but I think I want my dog to point inward. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the Format tab option and click on the Rotate option and flip horizontal. Oh, how cute. Okay, and I'm going to move it out just a little bit. So you decide how you want to balance out your graphic on your cover letter. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to continue working on the letterhead. And so I've got the address typed out for you already with the phone number. We do need to complete our email. So remember, the email should be professional. And so something with your like first name or last name is something that's typically going to be pretty good. So I'm just going to do first name dot last name. Okay, so you type first name dot last name for your email. The next thing I'm going to do is we're going to add a bottom border below our letterhead. That way it separates out, the letterhead and the rest of the body of the letter. So I'm going to place my insertion point after the .com. And to add a bottom border, I'm going to go into the paragraph group, and the button that looks kind of like a window is your border button. And I'm going to choose the bottom border. So the bottom border is just this one right here, and you can choose whether you want to do borders and shading if you want to format how your border looks. So maybe you want it to be a double line, maybe you want it to be a little bit thicker. That's where you could change the options for it. But for this cover letter, that single bottom border line looks pretty nice. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to look at the date. So letters can be formatted in various different ways. On some letters, the date and the complementary close is set at 4 inches. And so in order to set the text to start a specific point, we can use what's called a tab stop. When you set a tab stop, it'll automatically move the text to a specific location when you push the tab key. So we're going to walk through the steps of creating a tab stop. So place your insertion point before the date, October 25th, 2019. On the Home tab, we're going to find the Paragraph Dialog Launcher box, and we're going to click on the button, and it's going to pop up to the Indents and Spacing tab, and so we're just going to click on the Tabs button. When you do that, it's going to ask us where do we want our tab stop position to be. And of course, I said at 4 inches, so we're going to type 4, and then you simply push set. And then you click OK. So then when you do that, all you have to do is push the tab key, which is located above the caps lock key. So push tab one time, boom, it moves your date. And so notice that there is a right angle underneath the 4-inch mark, and that just shows that there is a tab stop there. That's where your text will stop when you push the tab key. Nice work. Okay, let's move on to the next part of the letter. So we've done the letterhead and the date. Now we're going to move on to the inside address. Now the inside address is the person the letter is being sent to. And so we're sending this letter to Susan Johnson, and we are going to include her title or position at her job, the name of the company, and also the address. So Susan Johnson is the person we're writing the letter to. Go ahead and click after the word Johnson and then push enter. We want to make sure that there is not extra spacing before her name or after her name. So we're going to click on that 1-point spacing, remove space before paragraph. Okay, so we want to make sure that we're typing directly underneath her name. And so we are going to type Human Resource Manager. That's her title. Push enter. Then we're going to type Humane Society. That's the name of the company. Push enter and then type 548 First Avenue. That's the address. Pleasantville, Iowa, IA 50701 for the zip code. Okay, so what is this called? Yes, the inside address, the person you are sending the letter to. Okay, so that's the inside address. The next part is the salutation or the greeting. So it says, Dear Miss Johnson. That first paragraph is going to go into detail about how you heard about the job, and it just gives a little snippet about why you feel like you could benefit the company. The second paragraph is going to talk about specific experiences that make you the best person for the job. So if you notice at the end of the second paragraph, it says the table below outlines my volunteer service background. Do you see the table anywhere? Nope. So that's where we're going to insert a table. So go ahead and place your insertion point after the word background and the period, and then push enter. So to insert a table, we're going to go up to the Insert tab, and we're going to click on the Table button. And we want our table to be 3 columns by 5 rows. So you'll go this direction first for 3 columns, and then you'll go down 5 rows. Okay, so for our table, we are going to include information about our volunteer service background. So that's going to be the title of our table, volunteer. Oops, I accidentally pushed paste. So we're going to type volunteer service background. And then we're going to move to the second row. These are going to be our titles for the columns, organization, and you can push tab to move over to the next column, primary responsibility. Oh, I always get that one wrong. And then terms of service. Okay, next we're going to add in our information about each organization, the responsibility, and term of service for our volunteer work. So I'm going to type these out, and you can type them in as I go along. Okay, so we have all our information typed in for our table, and you can see that all of the volunteer work relates to something that deals with animals. So now we're going to format our table. When you are selecting a table, or when you click inside of a table, notice it gives you your table tool options. And so we can go to the Design tab for our table tools, and notice it gives us table style options. We can click on that More button, and when you place your mouse over the different styles, notice how it changes in the background. And so you can pick a style that best suits your needs for your cover letter. We're going to choose the Grid Table 6 Colorful Accent 1 today. So we still need to do some more formatting to our table. So you notice how volunteer service background is the title, but it's only in one column right now. We want to be able to center the title across all 3 columns. And so we are going to select the first row. And on the Layout tab, we're going to choose the Merge Cells button. Because what does merge mean? Right, put together. So if I push Merge Cells, it's going to make this one big cell. And then on the Home tab, I can go into Center. It'll allow me to center the text across the cell. The next thing that I'm going to do is something that's called Auto Fit. And so I want you to select all the rest of the text on your table. Okay, so we're going to go back to the Layout tab. On the Layout tab, I want you to find the Auto Fit button. When you click on auto fit contents, notice how it makes sure there's not any extra spacing after the words. And so it makes sure to fit the cells around the text. So for this, now you can see how the table fits on the page a little bit better. It's not taking up as much space and it looks more organized. So we're going to select that second row. We're going to bold the headings. You may have to push it 2 times since one was already bolded. Okay, and something else that we can do to this table, we can select the entire table by pushing that 4-way arrow, and we can push the center button to center in the middle of our page. So tables are a great way to point out important information for your cover letter. Let's say that maybe we feel like the last option, Trenton Animal Park Animal Food Drive, maybe is not the best option to put onto our table, and so let's decide, to take it off. So in order to delete a row, you can select a row. So select that bottom row, right click, and then we can click delete cells. It's going to ask us, does it want us to delete the entire row? We can click yes, delete entire row. So we should have just 2 options for our volunteer service background. Notice that we have this space in between. We need to fix that. So we're going to click at the beginning of the paragraph. It says according to your job posting, and we're just going to click the backspace key to move our text up. So if we look through our letter, the 3rd paragraph basically explains that you know information about the company and how you can be an addition or benefit to the company. And the last paragraph basically restates your contact information and essentially asks for the interview. So you're going to restate your contact information. We need to put our email in here. So first name dot last name. Remove that extra space right there. Oops. Okay. And so the very last thing that we need to check on is going to be our complementary close. So remember at the beginning of the video, I said that for some letter formats, the date and complementary close are set at the 4-inch mark. So let's see if you remember the directions on how to set up tab stops. So what tab do you need to go to? That is correct, the Home tab. What dialog launcher box will you click? Good job, the Paragraph dialog launcher box. And we're going to go to the Tabs button. We're going to set our tab stop position at 4 inches. You guessed it. Push set and then click OK. And now all we have to do is push the tab key. So it's going to tab over to our 4-inch mark. And now we need to leave a little bit of space for your actual handwritten signature. So we're going to push enter 1 time. And we want to make sure that we remove space before paragraph. And then we're going to push enter 3 more times. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then we are going to push the tab key again. And notice that our tab stop is still set. I think I need to push enter 1 more time. Yeah. So push the tab key. Notice that our tab stop is still set, but what happened? Oh no, it went to 2 pages. So for some letters, the margins sizes are a little bit different. And so remember, one of your time words dealt with margins or the white space around your text. So if we need to be able to include more information in our letter or on our document, we can adjust the margin size. So go to the Layout tab. On the Layout tab, we're going to find the Margins button, and we're going to change the margin style to moderate. Okay, so what moderate does is it's going to give us 1 inch spacing at the top and bottom of our page, but then it's going to make the margins a little bit smaller at 0.75 inches on the left and right. So that allows us to have enough room to type out our name. And so whenever it comes time for us to print out the letter, we can sign in between where it says sincerely and the name. And so now we have our completed cover letter. And so we have our letterhead at the top, our date set at tab stop 4 inches, the inside address. We have our greeting and salutation that says, Dear Ms. Johnson. We have our information about why we're the best person for the job. We even inserted a table with our volunteer background service information, and we were able to include our complimentary clothes. And so if that second page is bothering you, which is bothering me, so I'm going to go ahead and backspace until that second. There we go. All right. Sometimes it just takes a couple times, guys, but you got it. So now our cover letter is set at 1 page, and there we go. So go ahead and push the save button, and after you save it, you can turn it into Google Classroom. Have a great day.